Guys, it's a tutorial of My Heroes Tips and Tricks, and today we are continuing with the top 3 series, and today we got Warriors. Alright, so you can already see my third spot. Some of you might value him higher, but I'm just gonna get into the skills. He's only third spot for me, so yeah. So he's not only good for his 100 grand life, basic life on 6 star, and 930 armor, but also his skills are pretty good, so let's get right into them. Shadow Blast, 145% attack, which doesn't really interest us, even though against frontline enemies is pretty good, so that's something, but his damage, you know. But he also steals their armor for 2 rounds, so this is kind of a priest thingy, so I wouldn't value that being good or a normal thing for a warrior, but it's definitely a great addition you want to have. Then you have Fear. When attacked, reduces the target's crit for 2 rounds by 10%. The English is freaking bad, but this is so crazy. So we know that a lot of assassins or like mages and like crit dependent heroes attack frontline, or like just one hero, and it's often the tank. So they are crit dependent, and so I grew, and especially this Fear skill is really impactful because it kind of reduces their crit by 10%. 10% might seem low to you, but it definitely has some difference when there's like a 10% lower crit. So Fear is actually really good. Going on to a Glue's Tennessee 2, which is just the passive skill, and then the counterattack skill. So for me, Gru really is good because he got that crit thingy. So I actually really like this one. And this armor steal is also really underrated for me. Alright, now coming to the second spot, we got the newly added hero Berea, who if you take a look at these stats, 102 grands and 1180 armor, which, yeah, is why I valued him spot 2. He's really good, and normally he would definitely be spot 1 for me. But armor break is like a coming thing. A lot of like top tier teams introduce armor break into their lineups because the newly added heroes and some top tier heroes are really like armor dependent. So yeah, that's the meta, I guess. So, and not only does he have rather high HP, he also has 7.3k life on 6 star as base, which is not too bad. So let's just jump right into this abundance of skills. So deals 168% damage against frontline enemies, pretty good. If Berea has more health than the being attacked foe, gosh, this English, deals extra 15% damage, and it can't be dodged. So Mickey, bye bye. This is pretty good. I mean, it won't kill Mickey or like dodge dependent heroes in like one hit, but it definitely does some damage to them. So that's what you want. Then we got all attacks will hit and steal 20% armor from the target for 3 rounds. So every attack steals armor, which is so crazy because he will most likely attack frontline enemies where there is the tank. So when you attack a tank and put armor away from him, that makes him so much more like attackable, and yeah, he will just die like easier. So that's really good for your like damage dealers in the team, so they can easily get him down. That just work. Then just easy kill the second spot hero more easily. That's what I want to say. Then his increasing skill and violent attack at round 6 increases own crit by 55 and crit damage by 70%. So this one is like the topping of Berea. This thing is so crazy because he will, as a tank, as a warrior, most likely survive round 6. So when he reaches round 6, he gains crit and crit damage, and his rather low attack is being like supported by this one. So he then even deals somewhat damage, steals armor, and just, yeah, he's just a really good hero after round 6, which he will most likely survive. So that's really insane. Alright, and now we're already at our first spot. Who would have thought it's Azmodel? So Azmodel for me is the best hero in game. I've thought that, like I told that to you guys a lot of times, and yeah, I even made a separate video, but I'm just gonna go over it real quick. So 114k, 7.7k attack, yeah, decent armor for warrior, but the skills are really what make Asmodel. So we have 84% attack damage against all enemies, crazy, and has a 100% chance to add a critical strike mark. And this is the thing with Asmodel. This critical strike mark is so crazy. It will, like, it says critical strike mark will trigger 120% attack damage. So everyone who attacks them when they have this mark will deal 120% and not 100% damage. So 20% damage increase for all of your allies, which is crazy. Now we come to his passives: 25% HP, direct damage, and crit, really good. Attack has a 100% chance to add a critical strike mark, elevates crit damage by 10%, so crit damage for your like crit dependent heroes like Faceless or Kareem, who will deal 10% more for crit, and it will trigger 53% attack damage of, I think it's from Asmodel, so 53% on them like every round, I think, so that's really good. Then we got the Light Guardian too, 100% chance to add a critical strike mark when damaged, so when he's being attacked, he will add it like one of those crit marks, which will elevate the crit damage by 10% for 3 rounds even more, and it will also trigger the attack damage. So the crit marks basically do the whole thing. So that's so crazy. I just love Asmodel, and I hope you guys do too. Alright, so that's already the end, and as always, leave your thoughts about my video and your concerns and also your personal rankings down in the comments below. I would also appreciate every like and subscribe, so that would really help me out. Thanks for already watching 3 episodes of this top 3, and yeah, next on we have mages, and I will just finish it with ranger then. So yeah, that's about it, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.